What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Soul Flight. My name is Wellness for those of you that are new here, and in today's video I want to talk to you guys about one of my favorite topics in all of travel, and that is solo travel. I consider myself a solo traveler because about 95, and I'm probably making that number up, but about 95% of my trips have actually been by myself. Once I got a taste of it, I was like, this is me, this is the way that I prefer to travel. And you'll be surprised, that's really how it happens for a lot of people. They kind of go by accident or because they're tired of waiting for people to come with them, and then next thing you know, they love going places by themselves. So in today's video, I just want to address the most common concerns, because every time I tell somebody about my experiences, they're just like, oh, you went by yourself? Didn't you get lonely? Didn't you get bored? Were you afraid of getting like kidnapped or whatever? So many concerns, so many like fears and questions. By the end of this video, you will know whether or not solo travel is right for you, and hopefully you'll be ready to stop thinking about it and just book that flight. What do you have to lose? So let's get started. So the most common concern, question, fear that people have around traveling solo is, will I get lonely? The truth is, when you're traveling solo, you end up meeting so many people. Even if you're shy, not only do you become so much more approachable, but you'll also find so many other people who are traveling solo just like you, and you will find people that you can connect to. On my most recent and most epic solo trip, I was backpacking through Southeast Asia for 6 weeks, where I spent time with, not met, spent time with 35 people. Yes, I counted. Think about it this way. When you're traveling with your significant other or your friends or whoever, you're not gonna meet somebody and then be like, oh, do you want to come with us? Like, do you want to hang out with us? Especially if they're also in a group. But when you're by yourself, you're open to that. Because if you meet somebody and you like their vibe, they like yours, and you feel like this is somebody that you want to spend time with, you just invite them. Yo, you want to come get dinner real quick? Or I'm going on this excursion tomorrow, come through. And if you ever do find yourself feeling lonely while you're traveling, just embrace it, because honestly, this is your opportunity to get to know yourself, to get to embrace your own company, to get to feel comfortable with being with yourself, which is so important, especially if you're trying to, like, you know, build up that self-love. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, solo travel was a big part of that for me. Another big question that I get all the time is, do you get bored while traveling solo? And for me personally, the answer is no. Unless you're in the middle of nowhere, you're not really going to get bored, because there's always going to be something to do. My suggestion is visit a place that is not just pretty, but a place that actually has things that you're genuinely interested in doing, or activities that you'd like to try. In fact, I get more bored when I'm traveling with other people, because sometimes you have to compromise and do what they want to do. It might not be the activity or the thing that you want to be doing, but since you're there as a unit, you have to go along with it. Now, keep in mind that it is totally fine to just chill. The beauty of traveling by yourself is that you can do what you want, when you want. There's no one there to pressure you, no one there to tell you have to follow a certain itinerary. Just do you. Like, if you want to lay in bed for 6 hours and watch Netflix, you can do that, and you'll be surprised that'll actually be a really good part of your experience. Do whatever feels right to you, and you will not be bored. One of the fears that people have is getting lost when they're traveling solo. I totally understand that being lost in a place that you don't know, where you don't speak the language, can be really intimidating, but give yourself the opportunity to get lost on purpose. I actually do it on every single trip. I just walk around aimlessly, no GPS. I'm just chilling, just going where my soul takes me. And then I pay really close attention to everything that I see along the way, and use that as a way to get myself back. And that is how you will find gems. You have no idea how many times I've just been walking around and encountered the most amazing things. Like one time I was in Rome and I was just walking around aimlessly and found the most amazing gelateria. They used to put white chocolate inside the cone, and they used to make like fresh waffle cones. I'm telling you, it was incredible. And I did not find it on Google. I did not find it by asking around. I found it just by walking around and exploring. Now, if you ever find yourself in a situation where you're in a state of panic, you're freaking out, you're like, how did I get here? How do I get back? I'm not with this, like, I'm terrified, then just hop in a cab. Walk around with the card of the place that you're staying in. And I'm saying a card, or write it down rather than putting it in your phone, because what if your phone dies, right? Also, it really boosts your confidence to get lost, because you always find your way back. And that is when you start to see how resourceful you are, how independent and strong you are, and how you actually have the ability to get around and to solve problems. but you won't be able to discover that unless you actually give getting lost a shot. Another really big fear that people have is the fear of getting kidnapped or something really bad happening to you. Thanks a lot, Taken. You scared the out of a lot of people. Now, I understand that this is a very big fear, especially for people of color and women of color, particularly traveling by yourself. You're afraid that you might get assaulted or that you might feel unsafe. I've honestly never felt unsafe in any place that I've ever been by myself. Keep in mind that whatever is going to happen to you can happen to you anywhere, whether you are at home or whether you are traveling. So don't let that fear stop you from actually going out and exploring and traveling on your own. Just be smart, have common sense. And if you're from New York, this kind of comes naturally. You know, keep an eye out if you feel like there's people walking too close to you, or don't walk down a dark alleyway in the middle of the night. Like, that just doesn't make sense. Just use your common sense. Another thing is, don't get like completely wasted if you're out drinking by yourself. Be sure that you can get yourself back home safely. Remember that you are the one that's looking out for you. Another thing that I would suggest is keep a positive attitude and a positive mindset. I am a huge believer that we attract our reality. Now, I'm not trying to say that everything bad that happens to us is our fault, but if you go on a trip with the mentality that something is going to happen to you and everything is going to go terribly wrong, the chances of it actually going wrong just keep getting higher and higher because you are attracting that. So go with a positive mindset, believe that everything is going to work out just fine, everything is going to go smoothly. That is honestly like my secret weapon when it comes to making a trip successful, and it works every time. Now, if you're wondering if solo travel is right for you or not, no one can decide for you, but I personally believe that everyone should try it at least once in their life. You really get to do what you want, when you want. You get to know who you are. You get to know what you like, what you don't like. You get to meet so many cool people. You get to feel confident, you feel empowered, you feel like, wow, I can actually navigate a foreign country by myself. And personally, I see a lot of downsides with traveling with other people now, having done both, because you kind of have to do what other people want to do. You have to wait around for your homegirl to do her makeup for 3 hours, or people get moody. When you're traveling alone, you are giving yourself the opportunity to create your own reality, to create your own trip and curate it exactly the way that you want it to be. The only reasons that I see for not traveling solo, there's only 2 of them. One reason is if you genuinely really just want to spend time with certain people, whether it's your significant other or if you have kids or family, and you only have so many vacation days in the year or so many opportunities to travel, and you're like, I want to share this moment with my family or with these people. Another reason to not travel solo is if you have health issues, whether mental or physical, and you would feel more comfortable going with somebody. Let's say you're terrified of flying, let's say you have terrible anxiety. I'm not saying that you can't go. I think I've actually read amazing stories about people who have gotten better because they've been traveling alone and they've been pushing themselves. But if you don't feel comfortable doing that, remember that this is your trip and you have the freedom to do whatever is going to be best for you. Now, with that being said, go ahead and comment below. Let me know if this video was helpful, if I was able to make the thought of traveling solo a little less intimidating, and let me know if you were to travel solo, where would you go? Thank you so much for watching, guys. Peace and love. Until next time.
They will come and they will go.